the grief of the loss of someone.
Yeah. And now talking about rushing the process of grief or the experience of grief, sometimes it can come from the person who is grieving feel like they can defer the process of grief. I read that you cannot really bypass the experience of grief. Hence, you said it's important to allow yourself to experience the pain that comes with losing your loved ones and not try to bypass it. What are the risks that are associated with trying to avoid experiencing the pain of grief?
So I mean, we as human beings, we are dimensional beings. We're not just biological. We have mind, spirit, and soul. And if we do not go through pain, and things might build up inside of us, and those things can,
and maybe subconsciously it's still there.
Yeah, subconsciously they're still there. And, or even sometimes they'll add on maybe to other traumas that we've experienced in the past. And they might culminate now into a break point where someone now gets diagnosed with a clinical depression, or they may even go through other diagnoses of mental illness because of these things that they've kept inside of them, and they've accumulated. And now, they basically, now when they're manifesting as the clinical diagnosis, is saying that I need to get out, I need to be experienced, I cannot be kept inside. So that's the danger, really, of actually not going through. And I mean, that's one. And number two, that can be also be destructive in terms of the relationships that you.
Yes, those destructive behaviors, anger outbursts, substance abuse could be a result of deferred or bypassed grief or pain. Yeah,
that's correct. So I mean, people then will have dysfunctional relationships, or they cannot even keep a relationship because they cannot even in that relationship go to that place of sharing their lives. Because I mean, in a relationship, there needs to be some sense or some vulnerability to establish a connection between the individuals. So if that person cannot get to that point by themselves, it's going to be very difficult to get to that point with another person, because they have actually not gone through the pain, and that leads to failure of relationships, or leads to dysfunction of relationships.